Personally, for me, original music has always been number one. I feel like not only playing my own original music, but playing the original music of other people has been kind of the thing that made me the musician that I am today. I find that there's really great value in trying to discover your own pathways through somebody else's ideas, somebody else's music, because oftentimes someone's going to think of something that you would never think of, and your job is to find out where you fit in with all of that, and as a bass player, what I can do to help elevate and support this music. So yeah, for this I'm very grateful to have been invited, and the last time that I was here, I remember it being a really great experience, and I know this time will be. So it's extremely valuable to be put in this position where the goal is to make magic happen with people that maybe you don't know as well because you just don't have as much experience and time spent with them. I feel like when I come here to Ukraine, for instance, I'm very focused. Not that I'm not focused at home, but my friends at home I'm very comfortable with. I understand their playing, their vibe, their tendencies. You know, we're very close because we play so much together. And my first thing that I have to do is introduce myself and talk to this person for a few minutes, because I feel like if I'm not on a basic level of understanding with them and getting to know them personally, then we might miss that little bit extra that could happen while we're making music together. So it's not harder, it just requires like a little bit more of my attention and focus, I think. I mean, I suppose I've had an experience like this, but I wouldn't say that they're lasting. I've played some great projects with people that maybe aren't necessarily seeing eye to eye with me on a more personal level. And I recognize that for what it is, and in the past I've been grateful for the music and the projects, but yeah, those aren't the things that last. And I'm seeking more so the things that last these days. The Ukrainian jazz musicians that I've encountered inspire me a lot. And why? I don't want to say that I didn't expect to be inspired or didn't expect to be so, I didn't expect to see such great musicianship, but that's exactly what I see here. I see a lot of musicians who are really killing it and really know this music and have really studied and listened to and have a deep passion for it. And it's funny, you know, I come from the United States where like this music is born, and I live in Philadelphia and New York because I have close access to New York, and there's a lot of musicians and a lot of students and young musicians. And there are some amazing musicians. But there are also a lot of musicians who, I think because of the fact that they have such easy access to everything, they take it for granted and they don't actually, they're not like that deep with it. But when I come here, it seems like, especially with the students, there's so much more care and interest. Like back home, there's some great students, but there's also students that are just like doing the homework because it's what the homework is, and it's like, well, why did you choose to do this? You know, do you not love this music? Or are you not really like interested in the history and the future? And here, I don't really notice that as much. I just feel like the students are inspired. And for instance, I was in Dnipro the other day, and I did a master class, and that was supposed to be the afternoon. And I had a number of students come up and just say, hey, can I ask you a question? Yeah, sure. And you know, I brought them in the classroom, we talked about the bass and answered some questions, and an hour goes by, and then it's like, okay, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you another question? And before I knew it, you know, 3 hours went by, and we finished this hang, and I was leaving for the evening, and some of the students said, oh, are you coming back tomorrow? I have more questions. You know, for me, that's amazing. And that's something that I notice here in Ukraine, and it inspires me. And I see that with the professionals, too. The professionals have clearly been those students, and they're still those students. Just because you're making a living doesn't mean that you're not still learning through the process of being involved in this music and in the scene. So yeah, I love it here in Ukraine, and I think the musicians are at a very high level, and I like to see that they're continuing and pushing forward this music. And I think that's really the biggest thing. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to realize that you are you and no one else. And you have something special and unique to say, and it might not be what somebody wants you to say, or it might not be what they told you to say, but that's what's going to make you successful, when you realize that you have something special and unique to offer. And remember that there are people out there that can help you and that care about you and are there to support you. And this community, I mean, the greater jazz community are those people. And I notice that when I travel in the United States or to Canada or come to Ukraine, it's all seems like one big family. You know, I have my great friend and mentor Norman David came to Ukraine a year ago to present some music and do some master classes. And when I come here, people are asking, "Man, how's Norman? How's Norman? I really loved playing with him and seeing him." And it's just, as soon as we get to know each other, like, we're all just welcomed to the family, basically. So for any young aspiring musician, just get out there. There's a big family, and we're here. We want you, and we want you specifically. We want to know about you, who you are. Modern music is not exactly thrilling these days, but people like it. But that's why I play the kind of music that I play, because I'm fighting against that. To me, jazz is not like some intellectual music for like a highbrow society. To me, jazz is like, I'm trying to make some noise against that. So, yeah, we have the same kind of issues at home. I mean, I play some amazing concerts for amazing crowds, and I play some of my most serious, creative, like, heartfelt music for 4 people. I'm not going to stop doing it. And then another song that I wrote maybe a month ago, inspired by Japanese ramen noodle.
Ramen noodle?
Yeah. I'm a big ramen noodle fan, and I was just sitting in this restaurant eating, and I happened to have manuscript paper, so I was writing out this idea in my head. Ended up spilling some noodle on the piece of music itself. So then I was like, okay, this has to be dedicated to this experience. Yeah, I feel connection. Like, even though I'm 4,000 miles from home or something like this, I feel more connected to the world than I do when I'm at home. I don't know what that means necessarily. Like I said, it's like a feeling that I need to process and figure out exactly what that means, but just a beautiful, beautiful place. And I'm slowly becoming more and more in love with Kiev, so I hope to return again soon. This is my 3rd time. You will see me again for sure.